This is Adrian. Adrian has been shot in the face. He's been shot in the head, the stomach, the ankle, the leg, and the hip. He survived 2 plane crashes. He tunneled out of a prisoner of war camp, and when a doctor refused to amputate his shattered fingers, Adrian just bit them off himself. Most people would call this a nightmare. Adrian, he said, and I quote, "Frankly, I enjoyed the war." This is the story of Sir Adrian Carton de Weert, the man who was literally too stubborn to die. It's 1899. The Boer War is starting. Adrian is a law student at Oxford. Most students are worried about exams. Adrian is worried he's going to miss the fighting. There's just one tiny problem. He's too young and his dad didn't give him permission. Does he care? Nope. He drops out of college, changes his name, lies about his age, and joins the army. Welcome to the military, Adrian. Here is your first prize, a bullet to the stomach and a wound in the groin. The army sends him home. His dad is furious. Adrian, he just waits for the next war. The Great War. Finally, Adrian has a real war to play with. He's sent to Somalia to fight against the Mad Mullah. During a charge on an enemy fort, Adrian gets shot in the face, twice. He loses his left eye and a piece of his ear. The doctors send him back to England. They give him a glass eye. Adrian hates it. He thinks it looks stupid. So, what does he do? He throws the glass eye out of a moving taxi window and puts on a black eye patch. And just like that, the most badass silhouette in history was born. You'd think losing an eye would be enough for a retirement, right? Nah, says Adrian. He heads to the Western Front in France. During the Battle of the Somme, his hand is shattered by shrapnel. The doctor says, "We can save a few fingers." Adrian says, "Just take the whole thing off." The doctor refuses. So, Adrian, being the most impatient man on earth, takes matters into his own teeth. He bites his fingers off. Eventually, the surgeons give up and remove the hand. 3 weeks later, he is back on the battlefield, with one eye, one hand, and zero fear. Between 1914 and 1918, Adrian was wounded 8 times. He was shot through the skull at the Battle of the Somme, shot through the hip at Passchendaele, shot through the leg at Cambrai, and shot through the ear at Arras. He was awarded the Victoria Cross, the highest honor. But when people asked him about it, he didn't even mention the medal. He just talked about how much fun he had. Imagine being the German soldier who shoots a guy in the head, only to see him come back a week later with a new bandage and a bigger gun. That is psychological warfare. World War II starts. Adrian is now 60 years old. Most 60-year-olds are knitting or feeding pigeons. Adrian is flying to Yugoslavia. His plane gets shot down over the Mediterranean. He swims a mile to the shore, with only one arm and one eye. The Italians capture him and throw him in a high-security prison for generals. Adrian is bored, so he spends 7 months digging a tunnel through solid rock. Keep in mind, he's doing this with one hand. He escapes and wanders around Italy for 8 days disguised as a peasant. He's 6 feet tall, has one eye, one hand, and multiple scars. Surprisingly, he gets caught. After Italy surrenders, Winston Churchill, who is basically Adrian's biggest fan, sends him to China. His job? Be a diplomat to Chiang Kai-shek. While he was there, he survived another plane crash. At this point, death was probably just embarrassed to show up. He retired in 1947. On his way home, he slipped on some stairs, broke several vertebrae, and knocked himself unconscious. He still survived. Sir Adrian Carton de Weert died peacefully in his bed at age 83. He lived a life that would be rejected by Hollywood for being too unrealistic. He proved that the human body is surprisingly durable if the human inside it simply refuses to quit. He wasn't a man of hate, he was a man of action. He loved the challenge, he loved the rush, and he definitely loved the eye patch. So, what's your excuse for calling in sick tomorrow? Adrian bit his fingers off and went back to work in 3 weeks. Just saying. If you want to see more Stick Animated Legends, hit that subscribe button. Comment below. Who is the most indestructible person you know?